Now, Singapore is clamping down on people who flout measures put in place to stem the spread of COVID-19 infections. A 45-year-old man has had his permanent residency status revoked after he breached stay-home notice requirements. He's also been barred from re-entering Singapore. The man had arrived at Changi Airport last Thursday and was served the notice to remain at home for 14 days because he had recently traveled to China. When the authorities checked on him, he didn't respond to phone calls. He also wasn't in when officers went to his residence. Then on Sunday, he was found trying to leave Singapore at Changi Airport. He was warned he could face penalties for breaching the stay-home notice, but insisted on leaving. ICA has now rejected his application to renew his re-entry permit, which allows a person to keep PR status while outside the country. In another case, the Health Ministry is taking a married couple from China to court on Friday because they allegedly gave false information and obstructed contact tracing. And they'll be charged under the Infectious Diseases Act. 38-year-old Wuhan native Hu Jun, identified as case 16, arrived in Singapore on the 22nd of January. He was confirmed as infected more than a week later. His 36-year-old wife, Shisha, who lives in Singapore, was identified as a close contact and issued a quarantine order for the 1st of February. But the couple allegedly gave false information about their whereabouts during contact tracing. Authorities eventually established their actual movements through detailed investigations. If convicted, each could be fined a maximum of $10,000, jailed up to 6 months, or both. The latest incidents come on top of previous infringements of leave of absence or LOA rules. As of Monday, 14 pass holders and 15 employers have been taken to task. In Parliament, the government reiterated that both employers and staff must comply with control measures.
It's also important for us to signal from a public health measure that we can't take this too lightly. So when workers fail to respond, I'm sure they have valid reasons, and we go down and investigate each one of them. But the reality is that you have the whole day, and you have the whole day to respond, and we do give leeway if needed. So of course, when they can't account for where they were, then it becomes a bit more difficult to explain. And really, I think in the interest of public health, we have to take action.